Wassail, beautiful people. So I'm being told to use this light for a demonstration. So I have a tattoo. It's a story. And imagine the tattoo is the story of my life or your life. The more you view your life from the energy of the light, the less you see the details, but you know and you can see that it's still there. It's still integral to the journey. The pains, the traumas, the difficulties are all part of us and they remain with us and they're integral to our journey forwards. That's just so beautiful. So, hello, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe and press thumbs up. Also, consider entering into an energetic exchange with me by sending me a donation. This is my only source of income, and I don't hide any of my readings behind a paywall. Everything is free, and then you have the opportunity to enter into an energetic exchange with me. This is my only source of income because I spend most of my time doing this work, and also I've created these two decks and I'm about to start, well, I have already embarked on the third deck. This is the Liffruma Healing Oracle deck that you can get at liffruma.com if you go online. It's a rune deck with esoteric poems that help you to understand little tiny philosophical questions that you can ask yourself to bring a transformation so that you can take your life story into a new frequency. And the second deck is the Musical Alchemy of Astrology deck. It's not yet published. This is its last incarnation as we test it to see that we haven't made mistakes. There's so much information on these cards. The backs of the cards, each card has different information on the back. So you don't need to keep picking up a booklet and reading from it. Everything's on the cards and you choose to read what jumps out to you in a particular moment. I also have the Liffruma Healing Oracle as 78 rune stones, and I just adore them. They were made for me by my friend Daniela. Hello, Daniela. So let's just jump in. I don't know what story we should be connecting with. Let's just see. Oh, excuse me, I burped. It's terrible. I love burping. I didn't burp till the year 2000. Had no ability in my neck. There's a card on the floor. Cards that fall to the floor for me are a given, a done deal. So here we have Leashgade. To be cradled, by your vorther. So I'm going to say to you, when you get your copy of the Liffruma, there are hidden Easter eggs on it. They are all explained in the Rune Garden on liffruma.com, but here, just down the side of this card, is your vorther. The second half of her, or it, is on another card. I'm not going to tell you which one. You can search your deck. Well, you can go online and you can see the answer, but when the two cards come together, they give you an additional poem to help you understand something else. So what are the vorther? They're the landvertier. They're the whites, as they're often called. They're kind of a spiritual interface between you. Sorry, I need to pull my legs up. I need to sit cross-legged for this. They are the interface between you and your biome. So your biome is what locks us into linear time within our body, within our vessel. Bacteria has been on this planet way longer than bipedals, us, and other creatures. And we have to be in a symbiotic relationship with our biome. So that includes how we cleanse, how we wash, how many chemicals we put all over our body, which affects the biome, what we eat, the chemicals that we consume when we're eating. It's about understanding how to build a perfect relationship so that your biome interfaces with your spirit throughout the body, but particularly in the mind. There is a very strong conversational space there. So that's what I'm getting from this. Cradled in the comforting branches of trees, stretching, providing peace, shelter, wisdom, and direction. You can say, my higher self, but sometimes it's the spirit of your biome that is acting as your higher self, because there are many things that can be our higher selves. Our guides can be an aspect of our higher selves. Our understanding of our true divinity is an aspect of our higher self. So just a fascinating energy here. And again, it's talking about healing herbs and tinctures are shared with us by plant spirits whispering on a sultry breeze under their sacred shaded foliage. Yesterday, I had that whisper in my ear, which was, we need vitamin C. And I obeyed. I got some vitamin C and thoroughly enjoyed consuming it. As orange juice and watermelon juice. So let's, gonna put some ceramics on that actually. A message from the Vorva, the whites. And they're with you throughout your life. And here's the interesting thing. If you want to think about how we transform, your bacteria die and grow and reproduce and bring in new bacteria into the colony, and that all becomes your current spirit that locks you into time. And so therefore, if it's changing, so are you. So looking after your biome is really important. So here we have Brom, and it's coming across broom as a sweeping change. That's interesting in itself. It usually talks about sweeping away bloodstains, but that's not what I'm getting here. This is the sweeping changes that are constantly taking place in your microbiota. And then we have Watergefell, the waterfall. There is a mystical healing open to us when we connect with our biome, care for our biome, and the biome is able to care for us. And then we have Leche. That came out yesterday. This is the space after the pain. There's something here that's about physical, cellular upgrades, not just emotional or intellectual. This is about sweeping physical transformations in the body. Let's get some more runes. Oh, two. Oh, it's so interesting. We've got Nide and Was. 10 and 46. So Nide is the space beneath the leaf shade, beneath our own personal Yggdrasil tree and the world tree, the soil, the darkness. Sorry, I'm just looking. I don't think this is another one of the dark meditations, but let's see. It could be. It really could be. It could be the 22nd of September, which would be the equinox, but I don't know. I'm just putting it out there for the moment. So when you have a seed, your your Vortha, your white, the spirit of time that holds you in place in this world, is all inside the seed. And as the seed opens, it plunges into the soil, and inside the soil it seeks nutrients, new bacteria to add to the colony to help us grow. And that bacteria, that connection to the world around us, is trying to reach into us. It's a symbiotic relationship that we must experience. This is a 10-10, because this is 4-6 and this is 10. It's a 10-10. It's a spiritual awakening that happens on a cellular level, because it's about the bacteria in the world around us uniting with us to create a clothing, a cradling, a leaf shade in which we can grow and develop from birth. So let's, it's hot today. Let's get some impassioned message to go with Was. Was is the sap. But in terms of this, it's the energy of the world embracing us. So here we have the first rune, Feo. It begins. So 110. It begins with your birth. I'm saying that because 110 is my birthday, so it always helps me to spot a point of the purpose of that day to me, and then added to the collective. It begins at birth. Bacteria begins at birth. We have to embrace bacteria throughout our life. Don't be frightened by it. And then, oh, I've got 33. This is one of the Anglo-Saxon Thuthork frequencies. See, I want to say it's Kelk, but there's a part in my brain this morning that's slightly losing names. No, Kelk is 34. Why am I having these moments? This is the final Anglo-Saxon rune that was added. Oh, it's it's the spear. It's when we troth to ourselves. It's interesting how Nide is slightly wonky, but the shadows can become the nutrients to give us this perfect, these two Gununga gap voids, to help us understand the needs that we have within our body and the needs that our biome has within our body, and they must be symbiotically linked. That's gorgeous. And then we have Towardness. This is the Norn Skuld, who lives at the base of the Yggdrasil tree, and every day the three Norns water the roots of the Yggdrasil tree. We need to water our roots by exploring our shadows fearlessly, and that will enable a greater diversity of our biome. There you go, that just came through, and I have to say it. A rising future. And then the final one, I have to check this one because it's treadle. Because this is a rune that comes in many forms. When it's this way up, it's 15, Elks. When it's this way up, it's 31, the golden path. Treadle, stepping with well-intentioned, loving footsteps. When it's this way, it's Stenkness, a test. So throughout our life, the biome and our relationship with the biome can create different frequencies that completely transform. They're still the same in many ways, but they have room for improvement. So let's go to the musical Alchemy of Astrology. pop, 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 pom, pop, 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 pom. Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto, pom, 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 chom, boom, ting, ba-dong. There's something here about the more you come into balance, you become the soloist in the world orchestra, in your own concerto. And there's something about those phrases on the piano that are so joyful, so in celebration of the expression of the individuality of the voice of the piano, you. Nice. It's worth listening to the Tchaikovsky Piano Concerto number 1. I bet it is. Yeah, listen to it. I would say, if you can, listen to Barenboim, because he really plays those opening chords how I'm hearing them. I'm going to take those over there, and just down here, trying to get inside my chest, we have Quicksilver. This is one of the prime, it's the modality of mutability. It's to open a flexible channel, switching rhythm, but not time. 3/4 to 6/8. There's I never knew this energy at first, but this card now, when it comes across, yes, Quicksilver, but it's about opening a space for a kind of calmness to come in. The time space doesn't change, but the pulse of the beats changes and becomes more dance-like, but the beats, it's 2 longer beats in a space of 3 shorter beats. And it's your mind. It heralds change. There's a restless fluidity, rigid or flexible. It's when we become more flexible. It's when we stop holding. You see, I'm getting this message of the flexibility of the biome, but the biome needs new exposure, greater diversity to create this energy within. We all need to look at what we eat and how we can introduce new food groups. So a message that's coming through is, yes, eating local is really, really important, because that tunes your body and your biome to the frequency of the spirit of the place around you. So that's seasonal fruits and vegetables. But when you look at grains, rice, all of these other kind of things, you want to try and keep purchasing them from an ever greater diversity of distance around the world, because our world is a much larger shared global Yggdrasil tree. And so we need to be able to have the frequency of all the leaves of the global tree inside our body, working with our biome. So we have here at the side, we have a series of cards. So we have resin, spirit, distill, and Hawa. So obviously I'm immediately seeing 8866 as an important frequency here. 8866. I'm seeing a pentatonic scale, because that's on the card of spirit. Self-actualized salvation, extruding impurities. The only way, somehow they're saying, the way to improve The good bacteria is to add to the diversity. The good bacteria always wins. So when you make a sourdough, you might put in 60 grams of flour and 60 grams of clean water, and you stir it, and then you add the same 2 ingredients for 10 days. By day 4, it stinks because there are bad bacteria. But in this battle of bacteria, the good bacteria win as long as you're feeding them, as long as you're introducing new energies continually. And that's really what this is saying. To extrude the impurities, you need to think you are a community music festival. You need to be global in the origins of your diet while also being local. You see the resin here, the sticky sap, the was that bleeds out through the trunks. There's something here about that transforming. No more weeping, no more picking over the wounds, because you've healed the wounds through diversity of thoughts, emotions, foods, feelings, sounds, perfumes. Go global is what it's saying, in your ability to absorb. And that can just be through your imagination as well. Can you imagine a night-scented jasmine garden somewhere in the Middle East? Forget the pain of anything that might be out there. Can you go into a different version, a healed version of spaces that you see are in pain? That's really fascinating. And Kwawa is, if you can think it, you can sing it into existence. The cosmic shaman. This is about becoming the cosmic shaman. Sacred songs of life. Creation codes to bliss. True mystical experience. So, I am no longer aching, I am comforted. We began with the cradle, being cradled by the world and our biome. And then we have, I am spirit and I am matter. See, on this card, both of those energies matter, because your spirit has to connect to the matter of your body, and it does that through the interface of your biome. Distillation, I am diluted or I am enriched. Have you diluted your biome by a lack of diversity? And then Kwawa, I am silent or I am singing. Are you vibrating in the frequency for your towardness to get you to a better future? So let's just get some rune stones on those 4 cards. So we begin with, that was in yesterday. Your biome helps you to get through the portal. You see, I think that this is part 2 then. This must be the column on the 21st. Interesting. You have to open the channel. That's why you're getting this message now. Improve your diet's diversity before the eclipse. Open the space bigger. You see, there's something in this energy that I've been picking up recently, which is about opposition, quantum entangled souls. The more expansive your frequency in total, and the more expansive the way in which you live your life, the more expansive in the foods that you consume, that's what opens the very biggest dreamlike opportunities. It's definitely, that was in yesterday's Egel Shamir. This is another of the dark meditations. But it's not so much that this is a dark meditation. Yes, you're going to go into that, but this is a preparation to get you there. And that preparation will show why it was necessary in the tunnel. It will reveal something else. Oh, It's the All Rune, Weird Hamir. That's where the Norns schooled washes the roots of the Yggdrasil tree. And then Björk, again about trees. This is the energy of the forest has been burnt down and new growth begins from the same root system, the same root stock, but from a new place with a new diversity, a new angle in which you can look at life moving forwards. This is about dream preparation. You have to prepare your dreams by understanding the relationship, the symbiotic. It's almost, your biome is the baton that you pass. Every time you expand your biome, you expand the opportunity for the new gateway, doorway of reception, the new timeline, because it's not just enough to change your minds and emotions. You have to improve, transform, and expand your biome. What a beautiful message. Well, get going. Eat differently. Wassail.